Welcome parents to the Effective Literacy Strategy Workshop for students in grades kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade. My name is Stephanie Anderer, and today I will be discussing the importance of using effective literacy strategies with your child at home. I will also be talking about 3 wonderful and effective strategies that you can use with your child while you both are reading fiction and nonfiction texts. If you would like to take notes throughout this session, please feel free to do so. Let's get started. Before I discuss the reading strategies, it is important to know what a reading strategy is. A reading strategy is a plan selected deliberately by the reader to accomplish a particular goal or to complete a given task. Research indicates that good readers are strategic. This means that they have purposes for their reading and adjust their reading to each purpose. Strategic readers use a variety of strategies and skills as they construct meaning. Effective reading strategies are very helpful to all readers. I want you to think for a moment. Have you ever used any reading strategies with your child at home? If you have, great. If not, don't worry. Today you will be learning some that you can use while you are reading with your child. Why teach effective reading strategies? That's a good question. As parents, we know that it is essential that our children not only learn to read, but that they enjoy it as well. We want our child to develop a love for reading. We must remember that learning to read is a very hard and complex skill that is developed over a long period of time. Since so many different components go into reading, it is so important to teach all children appropriate and effective reading strategies that will help them become better readers. Reading is the key to success in all content areas. Children need to know how to read in order to comprehend in math, social studies, science, and English. Effective reading strategies help children read with fluency, accuracy, and understanding. Children often know how to read, but they just don't use or know how to use effective reading strategies in order to get the full meaning from the text they read. It is also very important to introduce one strategy at a time. First, you have to guide your child in practicing that one particular strategy, and then move on to a new strategy when your child appears to be secure with the first one. This way they do not become confused. Lastly, we must remember that the overall goal of all reading instruction is to help children become expert readers so that they can achieve independence and can use literacy for lifelong learning and enjoyment. The 3 reading strategies that I will be talking about next are from the Reading Strategies book by Jennifer Saravello. This is a wonderful resource with 300 reading strategies that any reader can use. It is extremely parent-friendly and effective, and I would recommend buying it. Let's get started. The first strategy is one that you can use when your child is reading to you. Sometimes when your child is just learning how to read or reading a book to you, they get stuck on unfamiliar words and become frustrated with decoding these words. If this happens, introduce this next strategy to your child. It's called try, try, try again. Try, try, try again is a great reading strategy for pre-emergent to emergent readers that can be used for both fiction and nonfiction texts. Explain to your child that it's okay to get stuck on a word that they don't know. Good readers try a variety of different strategies when they get to a tricky word. And sometimes one strategy will work on one word but not another. It is important for your child to know that it might take a few strategies to help them read a tricky word. I like to use the toolbox analogy for this strategy. Tell your child, every time you start a new book, You should carry around these strategies like a toolbox, using just the right one for just the right job. And sometimes you'll find that when you try one strategy, it might not help. If that's the case, try a new strategy from your toolbox. Let's take a look at the picture on the right. These are some strategies that can be in our toolbox. Readers use more than one strategy to figure things out. Your child can read slowly from left to right, sounding out each letter, like the word glad. They can look at the pictures and ask, can this picture help me solve this word? They can ask themselves, does this word make sense? Does it look right? And does it sound right? They can also look at parts of a word to help them decode an unfamiliar word, like the word swing. They might know the ending sound ing and might know it starts with an S, so then they can figure it out that it's swing. Reminding your child that using different strategies to figure out a word is very important. The second strategy you can use when you are reading a fiction book to your child. It is called Read Like a Storyteller. It is very important to model good, fluent, and expressive reading. This way your child has an idea of what good readers sound like. Even though they are exposed to this at school, modeling at home is just as important. Explain to your child that when they are reading a story, they have to sound like a storyteller. When a character is talking, you have to change your voice to match the character's tone, character's feeling, and the punctuation. This will help make the story more enjoyable to listen to and to read. It will also help to understand what is happening in the story. Reading with expression and fluency takes practice. However, if children are taught how to do it and use strategies to help them, they will be able to read just like their parents and teachers. Let's take a look at the poster on the right. When we read fiction, make sure that you use your character voice or the narrator voice. You can tell based on the dialogue. Match your voice to the character's tone. If it's angry, then you have to sound angry. Match your voice to the character's feeling. How is the character feeling? Happy, sad? And always match your voice to the punctuation. If there's an exclamation point, raise your voice a little bit. If there's a question mark, ask in a questioning tone. This will help better understand the story and be able to have the child comprehend what they are reading. The last strategy you can use for when you are reading a nonfiction book to your child. It's called Caption It. Since beginner nonfiction books mainly consist of pictures and captions, this last strategy will help you show your child how to pay close attention to these text features. Paying close attention to nonfiction text features is a large part of reading, navigating, and understanding nonfiction text. These features help readers understand what the text is about. As a parent, you can teach your child how to use these text features to get more information from the text. Make sure your child knows to look at the pictures and the captions on each page. This way they will understand what they are reading and learning about. Let's take a look at the poster on the right. Just by looking at the picture, you really couldn't tell that it was baby sea turtles. But if you look carefully at the photo and caption, you can tell that the picture is actually of baby sea turtles crossing the beach. Reading the text will also support the picture. It is up to you as a parent to introduce, model, and use a variety of strategies with your child so they can learn how to use them while they are reading. In conclusion, let's remember that effective reading strategies are very helpful for all readers. It is so important to teach all children appropriate and effective reading strategies. This will help them become better readers. Effective reading strategies help children read with fluency, accuracy, and understanding. It is also very important to remember to introduce one strategy at a time. It may be beneficial for your child if you made miniature posters or bookmarks that display each reading strategy. This way your child remembers to use them while they are reading. The Reading Strategies book provides an example of a poster for all 300 strategies. We have seen 3 of them, the pictures that I talked about in the previous 3 slides. It would be a great idea to leave these posters and bookmarks around the house and review them before, during, and after reading so your child uses all these great strategies. I would like to thank you for your time today. I hope you found this tutorial beneficial and that you learned something new. In the words of Jennifer Saravello, strategies make the often invisible work of reading actionable and visible. Make sure to incorporate and implement effective strategies daily in your home. Your child will then become a better reader, achieve independence, and most importantly, develop a lifelong love for reading. Thank you.